Okay, so hello guys. So here's the next question for the problem of the day. That is, check if grid can be cut into sections. Okay, so here's the next question. That is basically, let's just understand the question from this example. You can read the question basically. Leetcode. Okay, so in this question, what we have to given? We have given input n, that is 5. Simply 5 is basically the number of this length of x and y axis. Okay, and we have given total number of rectangles. Okay, so how many rectangles in this total? 4 rectangles are given, that is this and this and this. Okay, so these are represented here. So if you see in rectangle, basically this is a 2D array and 4 things are given in one array. That is, first the basically vertex x, and then vertex y. Okay, and then basically you can say start x, start y, and x and y. Okay, these are the total. If you see in this, the start x means 1, so 1 is here. Okay, the starting position in the x axis. Okay, and then start y, that is 0. Okay, that is, this is also 0 from y, in y direction. This is the y 0 point. Okay, and then 5 and y, that is here. Okay, so and then and y, sorry, and x, this is 5 is and x. Okay, and then and y, that is simply here 2. Okay, so by this basically these information, one rectangle can be formed. Okay, so this is the xy direction. Okay, so if you see, total 4 rectangles are there in this. And what we have to do, basically we have to cut this whole grid in basically 3 equal parts. Okay, and we have to make total, if you want to make 3 gaps, then 3 parts, then we have to cut in 2 parts, 2 cuts. Okay, we have to make 2 cuts so that it can divide into 3 gaps. Okay, 3 parts, so we have to make 2 cuts. So in this you can see they have cut from here and here, so that these 3 are divided. Okay, these 3 basically area are divided. And in this area, what is the basically thing that is there, that we have to divide them in form of basically no rectangle is cut from between. It will always cut from at the end. Okay, so like here, if we divide from here, then no rectangles are cut from between, then simply it will divide these rectangle in their edges. Okay, and here also. Okay, we can't cut like this or this from between. Okay, so we have to cut as this, so that they are cut not harming any rectangle. Okay, they are cut like or not, and so we have to return true or false if this is possible or not. Basically, if we can cut it like this or not. We can cut either both ways, like in x direction or y direction. Okay, the any way can be basically written true. Okay, so if it is possible to cut in vertical direction, then it will simply return true, and if it is possible to cut in right basically horizontal direction, then it is also basically possible to cut it that way. Okay, so if we just think rectangle, this blue rectangle was end here. Okay, and this orange rectangle was end here, then we can simply cut here. Okay, and one more way could be here, like this could be at end here, or so we can simply, I want to tell you that we can also cut it in vertical way also. Okay, any way can be basically possible. So if we can cut in vertical way, and we can divide it in 3 equal parts, basically not equal, 3 parts, then it is also written true, and in horizontal also. Okay, so simply you got the question. So it is basically same as previous question, basically yesterday's question. In this also, what we are going to do is, basically we have given this is also like sorting. If we see that always what we have to just remember, the end of the rectangle, like here, if we start from this rectangle. Okay, let's just go in only x direction cut. Okay, so main one thing is that we have to check for both direction, which in which direction it is basically uh, cutting in cutting is possible. Okay, so let's just first check in x direction. Okay, that is basically cutting horizontally. Okay, so for cutting horizontally, we have to check in this y direction. Okay, So length, basically points should be check in y direction. Okay, so cut in horizontally. So if we see, we will start from 0. Okay, we will move to upward. Okay, then we will encounter first end, that is simply 2. Okay, first end of the rectangle, that is 2. Then we will store this in one variable, that is furthest end. End is like the end that till we have encountered. Okay, so this will, and then we will start, then we will have another start, okay, of next rectangle, that is this and this. Okay, so we can simply say any of this. Okay, so simply we will check for both start. If both start is basically greater than, okay, if it is greater than like 2, so now this start is 2, and if it is was 3, then it's fine, because the gap between, there will be a gap and we can cut it from. So the here the start index is 2, and furthest end was also 2, so we can cut it. Okay, because both are equal. So if it is was greater, then also, but it should not be small, like here if its start was 1 and end is 2, then we can cut, because it will be simply at between, cut will be at between. Okay, so in this one cut we made, we will get it. Okay, then we will move further. Then next start would be 4 and end would be 4. Okay, furthest end would be 4. Then simply we will check if this are equal or greater than, yes, we can get, we have a gap, then simply we will cut it. So we will, at last we will return, because we have to cut only 2, because we have to get only 2 cuts. Okay, so we will return if the answer is greater than 2 or basically equals to 2, then it is possible to cut it in 3 parts. Okay, and same as if we check it for y, then okay, let's just start with for y. Then first, basically in vertical direction for cut. Okay, then we have to check x. Okay, so for x, first these are two rectangles, that is have 0. Okay, it will have 0. Then we will move forward. Okay, and then these rectangle, the furthest end would be simply 2. Okay, simply 2. And here you can see the, for this rectangle, start is 1, so simply it is smaller than the furthest end, so it is not possible to cut. So simply it will not check, it will not get in basically this x direction. Okay, it will only get in y direction. Okay, so simply it will return true, because it is possible in y direction. Okay, to cut horizontally. So basically you got the approach. What we are going to do, basically simply we are going to create a variable furthest end. Okay, that we simply check every time the furthest end till we have seen of a rectangle. Okay, we will check for both ways, like x and y. The dimension should be given first, that what we are checking is 0 will represent x dimension, 1 will represent y dimension. Okay, so first main thing is that we will sort this rectangle array, so that we can get these basically in ascending order, the indexes. Okay, so first we will sort it, like here this is start x, so we will sort it. So this 0, okay, this 0 will be at the first, and then 1, then 3. Okay, if I sort it, so this is how we will sort the basically these rectangles. Okay, then we will get the then we will basically check it. Okay, so for 0 0, this is the same, start x. Okay, and end x is 2. Okay, and you can see here end is 4, so it is basically valid. Okay, so and then we will move on the next, that is the start is 1, and the last end was here 4. Okay, 2 and 4. Okay, last end was 4, and here end is 5. Okay, and start is 1, so start is 1, so end is 4, and end is basically greater than 1. Okay, so if you see here from x direction, that is here, that is here, you can see the first end is here 2, and here end is 4. So okay, and start is 1, so simply it will not make a. Okay, and if you see at for y direction, y is this start y, then we will for y we will sort it according to y, that is this will come first 0, then this 2, then 2, then 4. Okay, so this is how this code will work. We will see the code in Leetcode. Okay, basically I have explained you the approach to total, how basically we are doing true. Okay, so let's just check the code. So you can see I have written also this comments. You can see I have made this function checkouts, so that checkouts, that is simply check for this 0, that is simply check for basically vertical cuts, and it will simply check for horizontal cuts. Okay, so if any of them is true, it will simply return true. Okay, so for then we will check this gap count, that will simply take care of the gaps that till made. Okay, so gaps should be basically 2 or greater than 2. Okay, simply then we will sort the rectangles according to the dimension. Okay, so this, like here 0 would be there, so a dim, that is a 0, so 0 position is this x direction, so simply it will sort it according to this direction. Okay, so simply it will sort. Okay, and then we have furthest end, that is simply rectangle 0 dim plus 2. Furthest end dim plus 2, dim is 0 for x, then plus 2 means this. Okay, so if you know that x are this and this. Okay, so it will simply, that's why we have done plus 2, so that in y also this 1 3 are there, so simply we will add 2, so that we can after this we can get this. Okay, so simply 0 and 2 would, so second, that is at first basically furthest end would be the this that is after sorting. If you see in this, that is here, so first furthest end would be 2. Okay, simply this. Okay, so then we will check for every rectangle. Okay, in that, and then we will simply check if furthest end is smaller than or equals to rectangle basically dimension, that is we will check start. This is start. Okay, okay, this is start, then we will simply add the gap count. Okay, if it is there, if it is not, then we will max out the furthest and basically update this value with this. Okay, then we will return gap count is greater than equals to 2. If it is greater than or equals to, then simply it will return true. Then simply here also we can get true. Let's just submit it. Yes, you can see, and you can also see time complexity and login. Okay, so that's the code, and you can see space also. Okay, so that's the code.